Castellini with Lizzie Stamps, and today I wanted to show you a new card kit that is now available. We do have our new catalog that is available right now and all the new products. And they do have some of the card kits in here. This is the one that we're going to be doing today. I'm only going to just show you quickly how to do each card. But it has 9 beautiful cards and it comes with everything that you need to put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what is in the card kit. As you can see, this is the instruction sheet. It does come colored, which is so great. So it gives you the instructions to make card 1, and then the second card, and then the third card. But what I do like is that it gives you all the supplies you need for each card. So you can see here that you'll need the label for the sentiment, you'll need the tear and tape that comes in the kit, you'll need the dimensionals and how many you need this piece of a laser cut image, you're going to stamp this image and this sentiment, and then you'll need 3 embellishments, and then you're going to be using this card front. So I just want to quickly show you, before we get started, what comes in the kit so you can see exactly what's in it. Here we go. Okay, so as I said, you get your instruction sheet, and so in the kit you'll receive some dimensionals. These are our regular dimensionals. I do love that you get the sample sizes. It's so nice to have. And then here are the embellishments. Look how pretty these are. So like a beautiful, it's almost like the azure afternoon. If you look right here, look how pretty those are. But the base of the kit is Night of Navy. You will receive your acrylic block that you will use. And I like to save these for traveling, but also for future classes. So I think it's great. And then you get this tear and tape. And our normal tear and tape is a little bit wider. So here's our normal. And then we have our other size. That's the small size. That's the size that you get, okay? So I do like that. And then you're not going to use it all, so you're able to save it for later. So I think that's great. Okay, when you receive your kit, you do get, and it comes in different languages, but this one is the English one. So you have Sending Love. You have this beautiful leaf sentiment, Wishing You Comfort, and You're in My Thoughts. So it's a very comforting set. I think you could use birthday sentiments if you wanted to, but I do love that. So a lot of people, so what I do is I usually perforate it this way, or I can just cut to the language that I'm using. And then the stamp set, I do have some already on the block, but it comes like this. And so you can stick it like this, stick it in a Ziploc bag, and I usually put the date that the kit came out, because now we do have 2 kits a month. So it's definitely worth looking into. All right, so here's one of the laser cut images that you receive. You'll get 3 of these. You'll get 3 of each of those. You get 3 of these beautiful laser cut. I love the watercolor flowers. You do receive the labels for the sentiments, and then you have 3 of each card design. So this one is just a nice watercolor wash. And then you've got this one. Look at that. It's almost like an embossed resist image. So beautiful. I love it. And it also continues on the back. So that's nice. And then this one just has the front, but look at that beautiful watercolor. I love it. So, and then the envelopes, you'll get 9 of these envelopes, and they already have that beautiful embossed image already on there. And then you will get a stamping spot of Night of Navy. I like to save these for later, so we're going to go ahead and use the bigger size. So I'm going to go ahead and stick everything in. I already have everything out for what we're working on. So I just want to show you the 3 cards. Here's the first one. And then on the inside, I did take that leaf image and stamp it on the inside. But very simple, doesn't take very long to put together. And it's just, I like the little pop of the other blue. So that's that one. And then here's this one. Love that. And then again, I stamped the leaf image inside. And then this last one, you have that watercolor wash background. You've got the beautiful laser cut Night of Navy floral images, and then this beautiful wash of color, and then sending love. So pretty. So we're going to go ahead and get again, when you receive your instruction sheet, on the back of the instruction sheet, it gives you the coordinating colors. So you have, it's blueberry bushel is the coordinating color. And then it has Night of Navy. So white, blueberry bushel. And then this tells you all the components that come in the kit. So really, really definitely worth. I like making like one of the cards of each of the designs, but then I like to make alternatives. So I think it's really fun to see what other demonstrators and other crafters do with the kits. So when I get started, I just want to show you how I get organized. So I've got all of my, how I'm going to glue everything right here. Then I have my embellishments right here. And I am using the Night of Navy. I do have the bigger one. I just like to have it on hand. That way, I already have my leaf image already on the block. And then I already have my first sentiment. I like to go ahead and stamp all the sentiments first. I think it's a lot easier to do that way. But then when I'm putting it all together, I'll either make all three of each design, but we're going to quickly I'm just going to go over what we do. So I already have everything that's going to go with this card, and then the embellishments as well. So I have that one. And then I also have everything for this card, and then everything for this card. Okay, so I just like to have everything put together so it's really easy and it goes really quickly. So our first one is actually, we're going to do the one, let's see, I want to do the one because I already have the sentiment on it. There we go. We're going to do this one first. So, and it says, wishing you comfort. Okay, so what I usually do is I just leave my instructions right here. It tells me what to do. So it says this is the number 2 card. You can start with any of the cards. It doesn't matter. So it tells you right here with your stamping spot. We're going to use our ink. We're going to go ahead and use our ink pad. It tells you to stamp the sentiment onto this label. Okay. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've already put it on the block. Stamp it. Bring it down a little bit so you can see. There we go. Stamp wishing you comfort. There. Okay. And then also I have my Stampin' Chamois, and I'll keep that to the side because I am using it quite a bit. So easy. Okay, here we go. And like I said, I want to stamp all the sentiments already. I know that the next one that I want to stamp is on the big label, and that is the You're in My Thoughts. Okay, so this one I'm just going to put to the side. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one right here, You're in My Thoughts, and I go ahead and line up my stamp set, or my stamp, let me go up here, right here. So I line it up, I can see it through. I have this piece of thin vinyl rubber pad over it, just because of the glare of the lights. So I can go ahead, and I know this is a little bit smaller, but if I want to, I can take off this. The block was a little bit smaller, so I'm going to use the bigger block. But the block that you get in the kit will fit all the sentiments. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Again, I like to have it lined up. And then You're in My Thoughts. Okay, so that one is ready. So I'm going to put that back. I'm going to go ahead and clean this one off. And then our last one is the sentiment that says sending love. And I can go ahead and do that on the smaller block. But again, like I said, the block that you receive in the kit is really nice to have. So, all right, so I'm going to use the sending love. I'm going to line it up. There we go. And stamp it. And then I know for that one, I need this label. Okay. All right. Oop. Just want to make sure I know where I'm stamping it. There we go. Okay, so we're done with all stamping the sentiments, okay? All right. And then as we go along, I'm going to stamp this leaf image inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my ink off to the side, and then this little label goes back over with the other card. All right, so we've done all that stamping. Now the first card that we're going to do, just move everything to the side a little bit more. So now, since we've stamped all the sentiments, the next thing I want to do, and you'll notice this is the tear and tape right here, and it tells you exactly where to put it. So we're going to put it on this right here. Let's see which way it goes on the card. It's going to go, actually, it's going to go this way. Here we go. So I want to put tear and tape right along here because this sentiment is going to stick right on top of there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the tear and tape. I really like the thin tear and tape, so I'm finding the edge, and all, like I said, tear and tape. So I'm really just going to gauge how much I need, probably just about that much, and I'm going to stick it on the card. on the laser cut image. Another great tool to have in your repertoire is your take your pick tool, which you know I love. It has the putty end that you can use for getting the embellishments on your card. And it does have the pokey tool. And then on the other side, it does have the spatula. We do carry another pieces to attach to this, and it is in the catalog, and you can look that up online. You can just type in under the website, take your pick tool, and it'll show up everything that comes with it. So what I like to do is just go ahead and just make sure it's rubbed down a little bit. Whoop. Let's do it this way. I like to rub it down just a little bit just so that the adhesive sticks. Okay, so you have that, and that's done. And then we can go ahead and add Wishing You Comfort right on top. Perfect. Okay, so that is that. Then we go to this one right here, and it's telling you to add 4 dimensionals to the back of this. So we're going to add 4 dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and add 4. You could just add 2 if you wanted to, but I'm just following the directions as I see them so you can see how easy it is. All right. And then it tells you now where to place. So it tells you where to place the sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and lay that right about here. And then if you can look here, you can see exactly you need 3 of the embellishments, and then you need to add 2 here and 1 over here. But it's totally up to you where you want to lay it. And it's very easy using your take your pick tool. You could use the pokey end if you wanted to. You could use the pokey end like this and add it on to your card like this. Or you can use the putty end. Put it there. So I have 2 there, and I'm going to put 1 down here. I like it down there better. Okay, last thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp that leaf image on the inside. So I'm going to stamp it over here. And then you have enough area to write what you want to write. We are going to be using this again, so I'm not going to clean it off. But there you go. That's the first card. How easy is that? Okay, so then we're going to go to the next card, and that is, which is card number 1. So again, like I said, we already have our laser cut. We already have our sentiment stamped. So now let's just put it together. Well, the one thing we can do too, let's do this first, is I'm going to go ahead and stamp the leaf image on the inside. And it's stamped right there. Okay. So it does tell you to do that. So here it is. There's the stamped leaf image, and it tells you this is where they want you to stamp it on the inside. So, and I decided to do that with all 3. Okay. So then here you have it. So it shows you exactly the tear and tape needs to go onto the front of the laser image right here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then you're going to put your sentiment on there. So let's go ahead and get our tear and tape again. We're going to go ahead and put it on here, just like this, and lay it across. Give it a good rub if you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my pokey part and lift it up. See how quick that is? You could go ahead and do that for all of them. So it's just really just great to just get everything banged out. I would say this kit would probably take you maybe a half an hour at most. And then we're going to turn it over. So there's my laser cut with the sentiment. And then it tells you to put 3 dimensionals on the back. And we're going to be sticking it right about here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get my dimensionals and I'm going to turn it over. Be careful. One thing I do want to recommend, be careful when you have to pull out the laser cut images because it can rip easily. These beautiful little designs can rip a little bit easier, which I did a little bit. You can't tell. So anyway, so we're going to add some dimensional again on the back and we're going to put it on the front right about here. And then it shows you again, you need 3 embellishments and put 2 here and 1 here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to get my, take your pick tool, add 1 there, add 1 here, and add 1 down there. There you go. Okay. That's the second card. Wow. I mean, they just go along so smoothly. Okay, for this third one, this one, it takes a little bit more tear and tape. So what it did, it wants you to stamp Sending Love, in which we've already done. And like I said, I like to stamp the leaf image inside because I just really love it. So it just adds to the card. And you can make them any way you want to. So there you go. Nice pressed image. Okay. So I'm done with my ink. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away so I don't get my fingers already a mess. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean off my block and my stamp. Okay. And then I'll put everything away when I'm finished. Okay. So now what it tells us to do is it tells you exactly where to place all of the tear and tape. So along here, along the sides, 2 there, and then you need 1 on the back. And then you need dimensionals for the floral image. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And this just takes a few minutes to put together. So we've got our, here, we have our tear and tape. And it said to put 2 pieces at the top. There we go, right here. So we're going to, I don't know, I would just, for me, I might just put 1 piece along. This is why we have the thinner one, just because it's about the width. It's about 1/8 of an inch, which is so nice. And then we're going to do a longer one along here. Go. And then pick another one along the bottom. Just that one. And then 1 more. And then we're going to put 1 on the sentiment as well. Okay. I'm going to put it right about there. Okay. So again, I like to just rub them across. You can take your bone folder and you can go ahead and just do this because that'll help just take the top off of that, the tear and tape. We're going to add 1 more piece of tear and tape to the Sending Love. As soon as I find it, where did it go? Sometimes it's hard to see. There you go. All right, here's 1. There we go. Again, I'm just going to rub it. And then it said that it needs 4 dimensionals. Okay, so we're going to get 4 dimensionals. So we'll put 1 here, 1, whoop, 1 there, 1 here, 1 here. You'll have some dimensionals left over, which is nice to have for future use. Can never have enough dimensionals. And you can use the whole sheet. So, which is nice. Okay, so we're ready. I've already peeled those off. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put on our laser cut image. Here, the laser cut right there. We need to lay it on top of there. So let's go ahead and take your pick tool, and we're going to pull off all of little backings. Make sure you don't stick your finger where you've already put the tear and tape, and just move it around. Go ahead and take this off. There we go. And the last one goes like right here. Okay. All right. So now I am ready to put this on. And you have about a little less than 1/4 of an inch around. So I'm just I always like to line it up in the top right corner, and then you can just press it down. Look how beautiful that is. Just love it. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my beautiful floral. Go this way, yes. All right, so it goes like this. We're going to lay it right there. And then for the last one, I'm just going to take off my tear and tape backing and then go ahead and put it, I'm just going to lay it flat right there. Okay, now all we have left is to do the embellishments. So, and the embellishments, it asks for 3, so I'm going to put 1 here. I sort of want to put 1 right in here so they can see, and maybe 1 more down there. Okay. They can see it a little bit better on the card front. Oh, it's just so stunning. So that's it. That is it. So how quickly was that? So there's the one we worked on. Here's the one that I already made for you. So there's that, those 2. Okay. And then here's the one we just did. And this is the one that I made earlier. Here we go. And then we have this one. Look at that. I think these are just so beautiful. I love the sentiments. I love the laser cut images. It's just so yummy. I'm going to buy another kit because I really, really want to try some alternatives. So anyway, but I would love for you to go check out all of our kits collections on my website at lizziestamps.stampinup.net. And you can see everything that we have to offer. We have ones that you can stamp with the ink, and we have ones that already have this sentiment stamped on them. So really hope you give it a try. And thanks for watching, and happy stamping.